This is Nicky and Lily, a mother-daughter duo who risked it all on an abandoned property 4 years ago in hopes of turning it into a profitable market garden.
If you want to make a lot of money and you want to make a lot of money fast, don't go into farming.
Every year, tens of thousands of farms close their doors, but they found some lucrative spaces to keep the dream alive. As someone who's always wanted to do something like this, it was inspiring to see all that they've done to make it possible. And in this video, we get to see where they started, what is working, what you have to get right to succeed, and some surprising avenues for additional income. But it all started back in the winter of 2021, in the heat of the pandemic. The desire to get outside and in the soil brought Nicky and Lily to this space, where they started their business.
So that is the view from the back doors of the big greenhouse. We started this business and called ourselves the Edible Acre, and we're based in Dorset, just outside Dorchester. So this site in particular is, I think, 1.2 acres on the whole perimeter. We are growing on about 1/3 of an acre of bed space. 2 greenhouses, 2 polytunnels. We had to think outside the box with the growing space because it wasn't the most ideal soil conditions, and we came up with the no-dig system to grow here. Yeah, inspired by Charles Dowding, I guess.
It was formerly an abandoned nursery, so they had the bones in place, but an awful lot of junk was in the way. For the first 3 to 4 months, they spent nearly every day clearing and organizing the space. But the main struggle ended up being the soil. And after several burn piles, hauling out trash, repairing glass panes, and removing stones and breeze blocks from the ground, they finally organized a truly beautiful place. Unfortunately, we got to spend a day here to appreciate it all after nearly 4 years of work, which made me wonder, why had they done it?
Main goal was, well, to regenerate this piece of land into a growing site that we could, grow enough produce from to be able to make a business and sort of survive. Yeah. It's also really fulfilling for us as well, though. I mean, chatting to customers who bought something off you last week and then they come to you the following week and tell you the recipe that they've created or how they cooked it, or that it was the best tasting purple sprouting that they've ever had. Or it can be quite an isolating job just working in a field on your own, face down in the soil, weeding. But then to hear some positive feedback is really rewarding in that respect, isn't it? Because you think, it's worth it. It's worth it. Yeah. Exactly. This site is predominantly salads and tomatoes, herbs, sunflowers. We mostly sell our products at market and also to local chefs and restaurants, and we also run a veg box scheme. Most people are selling a product and don't really know where the end goal is, but we're getting to actually talk to the people who are eating the food straight away. It's nice to sell to chefs as well because you know that they are appreciating your product, which they obviously want something of quality to go on the plates, and that's nice. We get nice feedback. So.
Why do you garden? Why do you grow things? What's your purpose there?
It's a question I ask myself all the time. I think it feels right, doesn't it? I mean, that's the crux of it, is that it's something that you've always done. Yeah. Something that I've always been around since I've been a child. Once you've done it, you can't really stop doing it. No, it's something I can't imagine myself doing something else. There's a lot of job satisfaction by doing it. Huge amounts. Even when you're absolutely tired and had enough, and you just think, but I've planted all those little things, they've got to be looked after. And then eventually they come to fruition.
And one thing that they discovered and made it that much more worth it happened halfway through their journey.
So my sister got married 2 years ago now. 2 years ago, and her request as her wedding gift from us was, could you please grow my wedding flowers? And so we did. I've never grown flowers before. Mum is a flower expert from years in horticulture, and we managed to grow so many buckets and buckets and buckets full for her wedding, which was really, really lovely. And any surplus we ended up selling at market and at the gate, which we also figured out was selling really well and much easier to get rid of a bunch of flowers than it was to get rid of, the same equivalent in veg. So it's something we've been continuing. And it's also, you have multiple harvests from flowers. So the more you pick, the more they produce, whereas once you've cut that one cabbage, there's no cabbage to come back. Yeah. So we started to realise that it made so much more sense of the use of the land because you got more value out of those crops. So I think that was probably
one of the things that made us go down the route with the flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been really nice. The bees love it.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah, it's been beneficial, hasn't
the
it?
garden smells lovely.
And as a beekeeper, it's always a thrill to see people planting for the bees. They're truly an unmatched asset in the garden. But it's what they do with these flowers and non-veg plants that really impressed me. But before we get to that, Emily had asked a question that we all really like to know the answer to.
Do you have any favorite flowers or veg that you grow? Or your best sellers, maybe?
Oh, well, salad is definitely a best seller, isn't it?
Yeah.
The mixed salad bags.
And the tomatoes. People really wait for the tomato season, but the salad season is all year round, which is great.
Last year, late, we had a lot of chrysanthemums growing at our other site, and those were phenomenal, weren't they?
Yeah.
They just come again and again and again.
And they continued well into December.
Yeah.
I managed to pick a bunch of chrysanthemums for Christmas.
Yeah, so
was
chrysanthemums
nice.
and dahlias, I would say, are really worth their weight in gold.
I would actually say my favourite flower that we grew last year, even though we didn't grow it as a cut flower, we grew it as a medicinal herb, was feverfew. And it was so beautiful, and we used it so much in the bouquets, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's just this like
It's a filler.
ditzy little daisy that just kept coming and coming and coming, and it was amazing.
I love flowers.
And then we wanted to know who their customers were and what they did to acquire them.
This wasn't the reason that we went into this, but there is a lack of local food available. We're part of that, aren't we? Now?
Yeah, there's a big resurgence in people who are bringing back locally sourced, locally produced.
Yeah, and we see that a lot at market, people asking for locally sourced produce. So it's nice to be part of that. It's nice to be part of this turn. Everything's turning towards this realisation that they should be sourcing things more local, getting the best they can afford.
People just want that connection again, don't they, to how it used to be. You used to be able to, in every village in the UK, there used to be a butcher, a baker, grocer, farmer, and I think people have lost that, and people are really trying their hardest to come back to it and
Searching for it.
yeah, searching for it again.
I would say check out your local customer base first to see if it's not already been saturated by another grower
or growers.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot compete with supermarket prices, can you?
No.
So if you're looking to get into farming, there's so many versions of it that you can do. You could do community gardening, you could do projects, CICs, things that aren't necessarily just
Definitely
market.
though, check out where your market will be. I mean, how are you going to sell your produce? Because it's not always obvious.
The easy part's growing the produce, isn't it?
Selling is the hardest part. It really is.
Yeah.
Harvesting your crop, so perishable. If you don't have an outlet for it, what are you going to do with that? You know, have a number of outlets lined up.
Yeah.
Once you're in, it seems to open up other little doors and more people getting your name out there at the beginning. When we first took this site on, you started to advertise us.
Yeah, we started an Instagram page from the very get-go, and shared the whole build from the very start to where we are now, all the ugly parts and all the
But that really helped.
It really helped,
because
and
by the time we did have a crop ready for sale, some
people
people
were
had
already
heard
following.
of us, so that did help actually. That was-
Throughout our conversation about flowers, they had shared a bit about something we've always wanted to do and how to make money with it.
We never intended to go into this and then end up doing dye flowers. That wasn't at the beginning, but it came along quite naturally as it was a hobby of mine that I could see the potential for running some courses and growing our own dye plants to substantiate the course, to show people the plants and what they look like and what you could grow in your own back garden, even in just a few pots. So that's where it came from.
So it's like, enjoying plants in all their various forms.
In all their uses. Biggest factor was being able to show people how they grow, what they look like. And then there's been quite a resurgence of interest in crafts and dyeing, and try and make it very hands-on. So it's not just us demonstrating. People can get stuck in and stir the pots and test when the colour is deep enough for the yarn to be taken out and so on.
People seem to get a lot from it, don't they, of just spending a day in nature with people that are like-minded, and
Yeah.
it's been really successful.
It was cool to see that they weren't just growing veg and flowers, but also medicinal plants and plants for dyeing fabric with, which is truly a lost craft.
One of my biggest pieces of advice as well, something that we've learned very quickly, is put your hand of friendship out to other growers. You know, they are your friends. They are not the competitors.
Yeah.
You know, it's been amazing the amount of people that you connect to and reach out to, and like the community of growers
It's nice, isn't it?
that
It's
are
lovely.
there are amazing. And I think, you know, we're stronger together. Friendships and connections within the grower community has been like invaluable.
It was an odd experience stepping into a life that we so desperately want to be a part of for just one day. But with that came so much inspiration and hope for what that may look like for us in the future. And maybe someday you'll have a version of this for yourself too. Hopefully this video gave you a glimpse into how to make that possible. If you made it this far, please consider subscribing, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the comments.